Hello, hello. Thank you for checking in. Great to see everybody. It's Wednesday, humpless day. Almost to the weekend, halfway to the weekend. Thank you for checking in. Great to see everybody. Hello. Oop, don't go to. There's YouTube. Hello. Let me say hello to everybody. Hello, Philip. Let me say hello to everybody. Allura Star and Shocker and Sturgis Guy and Thesis and House of Dave and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Petey and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Philip Chandler and Mark Mean and Star Raven and Angie Jonas and Fairies Lover and Lucky Girl and Azure Yusuf and LaCreme and Marcel and Jim Dandy and Bill Knaus and Scott Kimmis and Joe Barney and Red Stapler and John McCain and N1QOV and Sam and St. Clinton and Brett and Terry Sue. Terry Sue, I miss you. Terry Sue and Blair Cooper and Joe Barney and Red Stapler and N1QOV and Cosmic Joe and Max and Jay Delman and Boot and Swede and Wing Doggy. Hello. Thank you for checking in. Yes, and I often, because I do, it's true, I have memorized all of your names. However, I have memorized it in a particular order, and I cannot change that order. And if I mess up, I go back. And sometimes people's names get called twice. So, and I also can't have a trouble removing names as well. If you've changed your name or you have more than one or two names, they still say like all of the names. Like I think Marcel has like 3 names. But hello, hi Linda. Just to Azure Yusuf, LaCreme, and Marcel, right? Or just Marcel and LaCreme. That was someone else, maybe. I don't know. Hello, Philip Chandler. Yeah. David Jones says, I'm always called second, even though I'm almost always here first. Yes, you are. That's it. So, that's how my brain works. I'm impressed that I've got it all memorized, but I can only do, and here, I occasionally I'm able to remember changes, like Bill Knaus. I remembered how to say his name right, finally. There's sometimes I say Angie Tomlinson, and sometimes I say Angie Jonas. Yeah, and Linda uses Linda Polly now, but I still call her Allura Star. Yeah, so Linda says she loves it. Oh, that's good, because as we've noted, I'm not very good with changing. So I'm glad you like that, Allura Star. So how is everybody? It's Wednesday. It's a beautiful sunny day here in California. Not too hot, not too cold. And I had a very nice appointment with my therapist today. So thank you. So, and how is everybody doing? It's almost the weekend, almost the long weekend. If you're in the United States, we have our Independence Day celebration, 4th of July. Woohoo! Which is a long weekend for many people. Many people work at companies. It's a national holiday, so a lot of people, some people still have to work because there's a lot of places that are still open. But post offices and banks and federal places are closed. However, stores, restaurants, they're definitely open. Some businesses are closed, some might be open. So, yeah. So, but yeah, 4th of July, it's Monday. Uh, Fireworks all around the country. Be careful, anyone who's touching fireworks. You can blow your hand off because these things sometimes go off. Like, what was it last year? The professional football player who blew off like 2.5 fingers. He's a grown man, and the firecracker went off. I think it went off before it was supposed to, and he's still playing football, but I mean he lost thumb and a finger, and it can happen to anyone, even if you think you know what you're doing. So, and hello, Philip Chandler. Link for the Russians on Twitter now. and also, if you have pets, 4th of July can be very stressful for pets. If you have pets, make sure they're inside for Saturday, because sometimes people are letting fireworks off on Saturday or Sunday and Monday, because all of those explosions and bangs, if you live near some place where there's going to be those noises, that can seriously freak out your pet, and they might just like run, flee in terror somewhere. And so every 4th of July, lots and lots of pets not only get freaked out, but get lost because they run. Yeah, Linda says it can damage their ears, but also a lot of pets get lost because they freak out and run like crazy, and then they don't know where they are. So there's my public service announcement for, yeah, don't blow off your hand and take care of your pets. And it's hump day! Woohoo! Who's getting their hump on? I'm just getting my coffee on. Linda says it is too hot for humping where she is. She's taking a break. What? Looks like, what? I didn't say. What? When Doggy says, I have one surface-to-air missile for my neighbors, it will be able to see the moon. What? Wing Doggy? Are you teasing? That does not sound like a legal firework, Wing Doggy. Said Foo. Wait, for your neighbor's pet named Foo Foo? Oh, wait. Philip says my link on Twitter is for Russia. I don't know, Philip. Twitter does that for some, like, that's weird. You know, sometimes when I post the links for my show, for some reason, I don't know, it's some weird Google Twitter or something, I will copy the link exactly as it is on the page I'm on and paste it onto my tweet, put the tweet out, and it comes out in a wide variety of foreign languages. I don't know why. It's something, I don't know if it's like a YouTube thing or a Twitter thing. I don't know why. But Philip says, today my Twitter link was in Russian. I have nothing to do with that. I have nothing to do with it, but I've noticed that's happened many times. Whole wide variety of languages appear on my Twitter randomly for no reason. I don't know. Wait, oh, David Jones says he just put up a a David Jones just put up a poem. Did you write this? David Jones says, the sexual life of the camel is stranger than anyone thinks. At the height of the mating season, he tries to bugger the sphinx. But the sphinx's posterior sphincter is all clogged by sands of the Nile. When the accounts for the hump on the camel, which accounts for the hump on the camel and the sphinx's inscrutable smile. What? Wait. Wait. Oh, David Jones says he did not write that, and Marcel just included a complete link to the poem. Okay. So, yes, I guess that is the official Hump Day poem. So you guys can camels and sphinxes. The sphinx is actually just a giant statue monument thing. Which, speaking of monuments, we have the Mount Rushmore monument with 4 presidents' faces carved in stone, which is crazy to think about how big that was and to think about that today. That would never happen. I don't think we would pay the amount of money it would cost to make a Mount Rushmore now. I think it would be impossible to make. And so it's pretty amazing that we have that. And there's a little-known secret room behind the ear of, I believe it's Lincoln, the Lincoln face. There's a secret room, a little like carved into the stone of the mountain, where important documents are stored. With like the Constitution and other stuff. So I guess it's the important documents are stored there for at some point when our world is destroyed and we turn into Planet of the Apes, and there's another civilization living here, and they find our artifacts or monuments, and they find this thing like we see Easter Island, and we're like, what happened? There was a civilization that built Easter Island and the circle. What's this circle? The stones or Stonehenge and all these things. We don't really know exactly what they're. Someday there will be another civilization. We'll be gone. We'll probably have destroyed ourselves by then, and there will be another civilization, and they'll look back and say, what is this monument of these faces and the rocks? So they might only see half of it. Who knows how much it'll be covered by then. So the hope is they'll discover the secret room, much like we find things in the pyramids, put them back together and try to figure out what was going back then. Marcel says they can look it up on the internet. I fear the internet may have been destroyed by that point. They'll find it like we find things in the pyramids and try to figure out what happened to this ancient prehistoric civilization. And at that point, we have to assume that they may be at a different level of technology than we are. Maybe speaking different languages, who knows? And trying to figure out trying to figure out who we were. So I think that's why that that secret room is there for somebody to discover in the future. So yeah, so let's try to let's try to prevent that from happening. Let's try to prevent the apocalypse. Blowing up the whole world, not a good thing. Starting World War III, not a good thing. Marcel says, what do the mountains have to do with humping? I don't remember, Marcel. I have no idea how I got on that topic of conversation. Oh, okay, yes. It was David Jones talked about, put the poem up about camels and humping and the Sphinx, and which made me think of monuments, which made me think of our monuments here in the U.S. Wait, oh, Marcel has another one. The sexual life of the bullfrog. Okay, we have another animal sex poem for Hump Day. The sexual life of the bullfrog is hard to comprehend. At the height of the mating season, he tries to bugger his friend, but his friend's posterior orifice is clogged up with mud and with slime, which accounts for the eyes of the bulldog and why he goes blah, blah, all the time. Blah, blah. What is that noise a bullfrog makes? It's not really ribbit. It's blarg, ribbit, ribbit, blarg, blarg. The croaking noise. Bullfrog. Blarg. It's Marcel's written it as blarg, but that doesn't sound like a bullfrog, does it? I don't know how to make a bullfrog noise. So yeah, and Philip says sex is better on a mountain. Yes. That for anyone, and now I don't actually know. I do not actually have any direct knowledge of mountain sex or mounting on the mountain. Mounting. Is anyone? Well, it is hump day. David Jones says his doctor recited 2 limericks to him. Luckily, he has insurance. I hope your doctoring skills and medical skills are better than his joke and limerick skills. Though speaking of mountain, there is apparently, I don't know if you guys, this virtual reality thing. I don't know if you guys have heard of that virtual reality. It's still kind of like, what is it? What is virtual reality? It's kind of amazing because you put on these virtual reality like goggles, and it's almost like it's beyond a 3D experience. It's like it puts you in to whatever you're watching, so that you have a hand, you can reach out and touch. There's a virtual reality of like the like mountain climbing in the Mount Everest, and it's supposed to be pretty amazing. And there's also like virtual reality of like, you know, like you're like on a top of a mountain and you're like walking on like a little thin, and you feel your balance is crazy. Like it's like walking a tightrope on like across like a giant cavern, and you feel like you're literally doing it, and people are doing it, and they're like, it's kind of terrifying because you have these goggles on and you're like looking down, and people think you're only like an inch off the ground in reality, like in a room. But it opens up a possibility, and where technology and things are going for the future, you know, like we've seen in movies and stuff, where like ads and commercials and things are like 3D images that are playing in like our real space. So for instance, you know, now how we have pop-ups on your computer, like you go to a website and a pop-up starts with some commercial automatically. Well, in the future, these pop-ups are going to be happening all the time, like as we walk and drive, and they're going to be like a 3D image right in front of you of this commercial of whatever it is you're walking by. You're walking in a store, and pop-up 3D things are happening in front of different products. You're driving down the road, and a pop-up commercial is happening for like the tire store or whatever. It's Yes, David Jones says they had that in Minority Report. In fact, they've had some science fiction movies have already like put that into scenes, but that is like within 5 years of happening in real life, 10 years at the most of being real life. And I'd say we're like 15 years of being to the point of Star Trek, of like teleporting and sending. We now have 3D printers that can print up 3D like parts and 3D that can create 3D things, physical things of food or medical things, parts, computer parts. It's crazy. We are within 20 years of being of the world turning into Star Trek. Which, yeah. Which is, Philip says, unless you fall off the mountain, yeah. Yeah, Marcel says, I mean, they're already doing it in limited, they're already doing a lot of these things in very limited places and in limited things where you have, they've created the technology, but it's not really out there in many places. They've created the technology to do 3D printing food. If you have a special printer, because the special printers have, instead of ink, instead of a printer in an inkwell, they've got the printers full of steel or plastic or some sort of food product, you know, base material. So the ink isn't full of ink, it's full of whatever base material that you want to create things from. So it could be like a plastic or a metal or some sort of like DNA cells thing. But it depends on what kind of printer it is. Is it a food printer? Is it a like there are some 3D printers that were like building like a bridge. And it's going around, it's going across slowly, building a bridge the same way your printer would be going across, like printing lines on a piece of paper. this printer is going across, printing out the steel of a bridge, going across like this, and like building a bridge as it goes. So this is crazy. You know, and very soon, within the next 20 years, most, as we've seen, like bookstores disappear and go online, and music stores disappear, and a lot of clothing stores are going online. We're going to see everything. You're not going to have, once they perfect this technology and 3D printers, we're not going to have all of the brick and mortar physical stores that we have. You're going to be just ordering online, downloading whatever you need, and then printing it. That's everything's gonna, it's crazy. You're gonna be able to download all kinds of crazy things. Film, and not only that, but they're working on being able to download things into your body. Such as downloading, say, like information, like downloading a language, downloading special skills to do something. It's different. Downloading, like the same way you have like a, you know, you can get like a mini disc and put things. You're going to be able to. It's getting to the point where very soon, within the next 20 years, you're going to be able to download information. It will, instead of needing to go to schools to learn things, you're going to be able to download things directly into your brain, download the information. Yeah, Marcel's put a link. They're actually, the bridge I was talking about, it's in Amsterdam, and they were building a steel bridge in Amsterdam with a printer, with a 3D printer. So you'll be able to download information into your brain. There'll also be health care, which is stuff that is injected into your body, like little, instead of taking a pill. Well, you take a pill, but the pill will be little minuscule, like nano robots that, for instance, people get clogged arteries. Or different toxins in their blood or their veins or something. These, when you take this pill, it's little nano robots that are gonna like clean up the cholesterol in your blood and like Pac-Man, eat it up, or clean up, fix whatever is needing to be fixed. Eat up the toxins that there's. So, and all of this stuff is within 20 years of happening. Sturgis Guy says, unless the nanorobots get hacked and turn everything into the gray goo. That is a danger. That's a real danger, Sturgis Guy, because even now, like all of these things I'm talking about, the technology and the doing it is already in development and in the works, and small parts of it already exist in labs and scientists, and you know it's not widely available, but it's already in development, and pieces of these are already starting to exist. But there is technology. I don't know how this hump day got into like future day, but you can hack, a hacker can hack almost anything that has a signal. So not just your phone or your TV or, you know, your computer, but also if you have anything that can be logged into, for instance, and has an electronic, you know, computer chip, for instance, a pacemaker. If you have a pacemaker that's like a, you know, that can be like monitored electronically and it's hooked up, somebody, you don't have to, that if a hacker could theoretically assassinate people, kill people who have pacemakers by hacking into the pacemaker or other medical systems. And changing the commands for either, like a pacemaker or a medical, like something that's like programmed to distribute a certain amount of medicine at a certain amount of time. Yeah. Or the doctors, you're prescribed even medical records, not just, they can hack into, easier would be to hack into medical records and say your prescription is to get 10 milligrams of this medication, and they change it to like 150 or something, and 150 will kill you. They can do that too, but any system can be hacked into and changed, and so that creates a danger for the future. Actually, it's a current danger too. Linda's like, yeah, there are so many things to worry about. There are so many things to worry about. And the hackers are geniuses. The hackers are learning how to hack things as quickly as developers are learning how to prevent things. Philip Chandler says he wants to teleport here to California so he could have coffee. Awesome, yeah, and that'll be another thing. You'll be able to live anywhere in the world if you're able to teleport to your job, not just telecommute or 3D, work in 3D. You could be anywhere and either be video conferencing 3D at your job place or teleport. You'll be able to live anywhere and do anything and then get anything no matter where you live. So that's going to change a lot of things. Yeah, there's yeah, and that opens up all kinds of like risky scenarios for safety versus hackers. Like, U.S. security people are saying, oh, we want a backdoor to get into different programs, like for phone and internet programs. But if you build a backdoor, everybody can figure out a way to get in. So that opens. So yeah, what will be originally developed to be a security thing will turn out to be a danger thing. So there's so many things to worry about. So many things to worry about. And the hackers are brilliant. There's an entire town in Russia that is devoted to hacking. The whole business of this town is about hacking. And so Marcel says most people have already installed a program which messes up your computer. It's called Windows. Yeah. So, oh goodness. So here I am giving all my brave new world predictions. Brave new world predictions, and because science and technology is evolving so quickly, what used to take like 20 years to develop and discover, now it's taking like 1 year. So, and it's getting faster and faster and faster. That's what it means by evolving exponentially. The more you the more we discover, the faster we discover more, and it starts to roll quicker and quicker. So what's taken the last 50 years technology-wise to develop will be like 20 years from now will be like the equivalent of like 100 years of technology. So 20 years from now, it's going to be Star Trek. So I am, yes, for those of us that will still be alive, forget about it. I don't even know what I'm going to do because at this point, I am so far behind in the technology, I don't even have a smartphone. I don't know how to do anything. Forget about it. 20 years from now, it's going to be worse. You know when you go to the grocery store and you see old people who can't figure out how to do the little pay thing at the grocery store, and they're like, it's going to be way worse than that. 20 years from now, I'll be like, I probably won't even know how to like, I won't know how to like walk down the street practically. we're gonna be we're gonna be phased out. We're gonna be like completely like. So hopefully I'll be able to download that information so that I will be able to exist. Yes, Linda's 2-year-olds will be showing us how to do things. All right, so oh my goodness, it is 6 o'clock, so I've gone way over. I am just about to sign off, but I want to thank you guys for checking in because you're awesome. Tomorrow is Stupid Question Day, where I put on the genius. Yeah, I'm doomed. I'm doomed. So yeah, tomorrow's Stupid Question Day, where I put on the genius cap. Well, except I feel like I was pretty much of a genius today, I have to say. But Stupid Question Day, I will be answering all of your questions with complete accuracy. So I hope everyone will be here. Let me say goodbye to everybody. Allura Star and Shocker and Sturgis Guy and Tesis and House of Dave and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Petey and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Philip Chandler and Mark Mean and Star Raven and Angie Tomlinson and Fairies Lover and Lucky Girl and Edra Yusuf and the Cram and Marcel and Bill Knaus and Scott Kimmis and Joe Barney and Red Stapler and John McCain and Sturgis Guy and Red Stapler and Terry Sue and Brett and Blair Cooper and N1QOVE and Max and Cosmic Joe and Jay Dolman and Booten Swede and Sam and St. Clinton and Philip and Wing Doggy. Thank you so much for checking in. You guys are awesome. Kisses for everybody. And Cal, hope you're all doing well. Kisses for everybody. I love you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.